A big thing that a lot of people get wrong as well is when they upload the video content to like say YouTube, is the way they name the video. It's one of the most
for search
foul
reasons.
things. Search reasons, example, people aren't going to, if people are looking for social media services, they're going to type in social media Scotland or social media agency Scotland. They're not going to type in directly into just name Fat Buzz.
Yeah, because you might not necessarily know that.
So it's getting that title name. How-to videos on YouTube are massive. And also make sure you get a description. And the amount of videos on YouTube that don't have a description or a link, call of action after they've watched the video.
Absolutely.
Where do you want them to go?
What do you want them to do?
Exactly. Get them onto the website, get them onto the Facebook page of where you want that conversation to continue.
And of course, we haven't mentioned iTunes. Which is a
your podcast do on there.
Our podcast too, but we put client videos onto iTunes, and there's one client in particular where the video has been on iTunes a month less than it's been on YouTube, but the downloads from iTunes are 4 times higher than the views on YouTube. So.
And do you think people are now recognising that iTunes then is more of a hub to go to for video content like that, rather than necessarily just going straight to YouTube?
Depends on the content, and I think that iTunes is very good for business-related content. Although this particular client is not business-related; it's a consumer product, but. It's more specialist. I think people are getting into the way of they know that iTunes podcast is a good search directory for information, so they're starting to use it more. But I would suggest that these downloads in iTunes are probably more valuable than views on YouTube, because people have had to go there and search for it, and if they've done a search for it, you can be fairly sure that they're relevant traffic. So don't forget about iTunes in terms of getting. It's maybe not so appropriate for news release type stuff, where it's
maybe more consumer related.
You don't need that sort of historical or the longevity you get with iTunes, because that's another great thing about it. It builds up an archive of your content, which is maybe not so important for that fast news release type thing. But certainly, if you're putting out, like Kyle mentioned, how-to videos there, if you're putting these out, don't forget that iTunes is an option for putting them on as well, because it is very, very powerful, and you'll be staggered at the number of downloads you get on iTunes.
I think a lot of people think that iTunes is only audio. They kind of forget that there's video content.
Video or PDF. So you can. A lot of people don't realise you can put a PDF document. It's similar to if you download an album. It might come with a supporting booklet. So if you're putting out a video, a how-to video, it could come with an instruction sheet. That's downloadable as a PDF through the RSS feed. So
that's good.
It's worth exploring all these things, especially if you've got the content. One of the things that we keep telling people is repurpose your content. If you've got a blog post that's been shared 50 times, then you pretty much know that's been of interest to lots of people. So why just leave it as a blog post? Why not say, well, we've got that blog post, lots of people liked it, let's see if we can do it as a bit of audio, or let's see if we can do it as a bit of video. The very same content, but just on a different medium. So that, because people receive information in different ways, and they have their favourites. So if you know something has been successful and it's been good and interesting, then look at other ways that you can use that to get it out to maybe different parts of that relevant community. So
I suppose then, in summary, make it relevant to the audience.
Definitely.
Make the content, make the actual way you're pushing it out relevant to the audience. So it might be through video, it might be a podcast, it might be written, and or all of them, and then from there, then look to see how that can be further spread to make sure that it actually covers all the areas you need it to actually cover, and then actually follow up as well. If there's an opportunity to do anything further after you've tested the water or whatever, then actually follow that up as well.
I mean, the share buttons are a great way to monitor whether something's, because we've got blogs that we put out in our own blog that don't get shared. So people have obviously found that boring.
Yeah.
You know, but the ones that have shared lots of, well, that's the kind of content people like. So you do less of that, more of that. So it's a great way to monitor just what people are actually finding. And a lot of people say, well, what do we actually talk about? And it's the easiest thing in the world to start off. Look at your frequently asked questions. What do your customers ask you most? And whatever they ask you most, that's the content you start with. So you just preempt the questions you get all the time by putting the answers out there.
I think that's one thing that we keep highlighting to clients, especially maybe new projects that haven't necessarily worked with us before. It's not necessarily what you want to tell, to that audience. It's actually more about what they want to know. Because as you say, what are they going to be asking? You want to be able to actually anticipate that and actually give them that information.
Yeah, well, social media and genuine engagement it's not about talking about your product, it's talking about things that your customers want.
Making it relevant,
You get into conversations with people about what they want to know about, not about what you want to tell them.
Yeah.
And that's a big mistake that people make in social media. They think they can just take the old press release or the old advert, stick it on Facebook, and that's them in social media. It's not. That's them just stick the press release on Facebook.
Yeah.
If they genuinely want to engage and be part of the conversation, then they need to get into that conversation on the terms of the other person.
Yeah.
You can't walk into a pub and suddenly change the conversation around your rules and what you want to talk about. You enter that conversation based on what everybody else wants. And you need to appreciate that with social media. You can't just push information out. You need to be engaged with people. So.
I think if anybody really wants to find any more information, our blog is aurapr.wordpress.com and FatBuzz.
fatbuzzblog.com.
Excellent. And obviously on Facebook and on Twitter for both companies.
FatBuzz, at FatBuzz, and I'm at Gordon Waite.
And I'm at KJ Murdoch.
At Emma Scally, or Emma from Aura.
At Laura from Aura. So hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.